It is mailbag time on today's edition of Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and I appreciate all of you guys taking time out of your day to tune in to the channel. So I love doing these mailbags. We go live every Monday and every Thursday here on the channel, and we take questions from our viewers. And it's, again, my favorite piece of content I film because it's me and you guys chopping it up about our favorite football team. And the first question coming in here, Skull to the Bull, fantastic name, saying, can you redraft the 2024 quarterback draft class? So that's the JJ McCarthy class with Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and the whole crew. It's a good question. If I had to redraft it, I think Drake May goes number one. I think that's undisputed. I think everybody watching right now would take Drake May number one. I think I would go Caleb Williams number two right now, just because I trust Caleb Williams staying healthier than Jaden Daniels. And even Jaden Daniels, like this year, he hasn't been too good when he's played. So I think those two are the locks at 1 and 2. I think I would go Bo Nix at 3. Maybe I would lean Jaden Daniels at 3. No, I would still go Jaden Daniels 3. I would go Bo Nix 4. But I would go JJ McCarthy over Michael Penix. I mean, Michael Penix, the injuries he's had to his knees are pretty disappointing right now. Now, I'd love to put JJ higher, but he just hasn't done enough. Now, I will say, like JJ this year, he's 4-4. First year starting, he's got wins on the road against the Bears, the Lions, and the Cowboys. Like, he's got a lot of he's got some stuff to go off of. But again, JJ's also only played 8 games. So if I had to redraft it like right now as we're filming, again, this can change. Like JJ could jump up to number 2. I just don't know if anybody in this draft class is going to touch Drake May. But I would go Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix. That's how I would do it. Joe coming in saying, do you think Ty Felton is worth the 102nd pick so far? As we're filming this December 15th, I would say no. But again, that can change, Joe. I think, especially if the Vikings do let Jalen Nailor walk this offseason, which is very much on the table, because I think Nailor is going to get around $12 to $15 million per year in free agency. Like, then maybe Ty Felton steps up as that wide receiver 3. We see him playing some good football. Then he could have that draft pick worth it. Now, clearly, I think this Vikings front office was very, very high on Ty Felton. Like, receiver was not a position of need whatsoever in the draft. And with the Vikings having such limited draft capital, they had to have really, really loved this guy. So I think he'll end up working out. It's also this draft pick. It even adds to the conversation. Are you going to keep Addison? Are you going to trade Addison? Are you going to keep Nailor? Or are you going to let him walk? Like, Ty Felton will have a play in that. But if also they view Ty Felton and they just admit, like, hey, we whiffed on this pick, it was a bad pick, then it might not end up mattering. But right now, was it worth it? I would say no. Rob Jigga, what's going on? Saying, so guess no more Burrow talk to the Vikings, huh? That rookie QB playing better, and thank you for beating Dallas. Yeah, no problem, Rob. I mean, listen, I'm not going to talk about the Burrow stuff until the offseason unless we get another report mid-season about Burrow potentially being on the table. And what I will say, JJ McCarthy would have to do a whole lot. I don't even know if there's anything he can do during the final 3 games of the season to make me move off, the Vikings going out there and getting Burrow. Because let's just say JJ goes out there and he has 300 yards. Or how about this? Let's just say JJ replicates his game against the Dallas Cowboys, against the Giants, Lions, and Packers. And the Vikings go 3-0. They end 9-8. That means JJ would have a 7-4 record this season. Like, would that be enough for me to be like, you know what? Let's not go all in for Joe Burrow. Maybe that's how I'll feel. But again, it's just going to come down to like the tape out there. Like, again, everybody loves getting on anybody who makes content now. Like, I see it with myself. I see it with other Vikings content creators. I see it with other people who cover sports teams. People saying, oh, you're flip-flopping your take. Or you said you wanted this guy. You said you then want to give this guy. Like, we get new data every week in the NFL. And that's why it's so awesome, because your takes can change just like that. But as of right now, good on the Burrow talks. We'll reevaluate that this offseason. Titus, would you rather have Ben Johnson or Kevin O'Connell? I hate this question because I don't think you guys are going to like my answer to this question. I think I would go Ben Johnson. Now, I will say I think both these guys are fantastic head coaches, fantastic offensive minds, but they're just different. They're different flavors of ice cream. Like Ben Johnson, He's that ground and pound. I want to run the football. I want to get downhill type of head coach. And I would prefer a head coach like that compared to Kevin O'Connell, where, yes, his system does work. We have seen KOC's system. You can win a lot of games in the NFL of just pushing the ball downfield over and over again. I would just rather have the run-first guy. That's just me. Now, I will say, I think they're on the same exact level. I'm not saying Ben Johnson's a better head coach than Kevin O'Connell. I would just rather have his style of offense, the ground and pound, compared to the air raid Kevin O'Connell style of offense. Vikings Fowler. I hate the narrative of it's the Cowboys D. Of course JJ will do good. Because when he played the rougher defenses, it was never, he's a rookie playing a hard defense. It was just JJ sucks. I absolutely fucking love this Vikings Fowler. Yeah. The one good thing about this old Vikings Fowler is I like that people are moving the goalpost. You know your young quarterback's doing something right where people are moving the goalposts on how they're evaluating them. Because even here at the Chat Sports 2, it's oh, JJ looked good last night, but then it was followed up with it was only the Cowboys. And even I'm saying it. It was only the Cowboys. It was only the Commanders. But how about it only be the Giants? Then how about we go beat the Lions on Christmas? Then how about we go beat the Packers? Then what are they going to say? We're just checking boxes every single week. We're just stacking games over and over again. You can only play these on your schedule. And that's also why, with JJ McCarthy, it's I don't think people give enough credit to the pressure this kid was under this year. Where the Vikings did win 14 games. They did have Super Bowl aspirations. He did have a brutal high ankle sprain. He did tear his meniscus. Everything that he kind of had adding pressure and adding weight to his shoulders. It wasn't a situation where take Cam Ward with the Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward's been horrible this year. If you said Cam Ward was terrible, people would look at you man, what are you talking about? He's got nothing to work with. Are you talking bad about Cam Ward? Or if you say, oh, I think Tyler Shuck or one of these other guys is playing bad football, then I think Shuck's been all Shuck's, the tape looks great for him. But point being here is you can kind of hide in New Orleans. You can kind of hide in Tennessee on these franchises that just aren't that good and aren't in major cities. They're just playing irrelevant football at the end of the day. At least JJ, still against the Cowboys, that's a primetime stage. That's going against a team who's trying to make the playoffs. There is still some meaningful football. And also JJ, he's playing for his job. There's no guarantee JJ's QB1 next year. I promise you, Tyler Shuck, Cam Ward, all these other young quarterbacks, they are no doubt QB1 next season, no matter what they do. But when you're the Minnesota Vikings and you've been so consistent over the last couple of years, you got to show up. You're playing for your job, bros. They would just let you go. So I'll ask you guys this. What do you guys think about JJ McCarthy? What say you on this one? As it stands right now, do you think JJ McCarthy is the franchise quarterback? I'm going to know your thoughts down below. Give me a Y for yes. Give me an N for no down below in the comment section. I'm going to be saying yes to this. I think he is. That can change. Again, you get new data. Opinions and takes can change. But right now, I'm going to give it a hell yeah for JJ McCarthy. Now, we'll dive into more questions here in a second, but today's episode is brought to you guys by Prize Picks, and it is the holiday season and the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball and football matchups, playoff pushes. It is all happening at once. And when you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's only one place where it feels good to be right, and that is Prize Picks. And if you guys download the Prize Picks app today, we'll hook you guys up with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Just make sure you guys use promo code CLNS. And Prize Picks, it's super simple to play. All you got to do is pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you guys get your picks right, you could cash in. So get in on the action. Prize Picks is now available in 45 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And Prize Picks is a new feature called Early Payout. So if your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. So download the Prize Picks app today. Plug in that promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. As promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. But massive shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, next question coming in from Mike Nintendo Master saying, do the Vikings have money to sign Nailor to a long-term deal? If you just look at the Vikings cap situation, you would probably say no to this, but there's always workarounds. You can cut a guy like Javon Hargrave, you can cut a guy like Jonathan Allen, you can, extend Jefferson again, for example, and just backload his deal even a couple more years. Same thing can be said about Christian Darrisaw. Maybe you traded Jonathan Gennard. Maybe you even I don't know. There are workarounds for this. But like it's unlikely that the Vikings have the money to sign Jalen Nailor, so I think he'll be a very enticing free agent, target for a lot of NFL teams. But on paper, probably not. But there are workarounds to get more money. Big O, if KOC is really good in the last few games or last few weeks, do you keep him or promote Flo? Listen, what I would do, now I will say Viking side of things, there's no chance Kevin O'Connell gets fired. That's a 0.000% chance of happening. I don't know if KOC does what he did over the last 2 weeks. Like, yeah, obviously I would keep him. And also, a big reason why I wanted the Vikings at the time to fire Kevin O'Connell and promote Flores was like, I'm starting to get the sense that Flores won't be the defensive coordinator here too much longer. Like, if you just watch the Vikings defense, it's different than anybody in the league. Like, when you're playing the Minnesota Vikings, they're doing stuff that no other team's doing. Like, teams will try to replicate it. Teams will take a couple of things here and there. But, like, take Flores last night, or when you're seeing this 2 nights ago against the Cowboys, 7, 8 guys lined up on the line of scrimmage every single play. Literally, every single play. I mean, it felt like 80% of the plays, that was the look they were giving them. Now, other teams will do that here and there, but they won't do it as much as Flores does it. Like, Flores does such a good job of sending heavy pressure without giving the quarterback like an easy outlet. Like, these guys, these corners are pressed up. They're like, hey, if you're going to beat us on this play, you got to go make a play, and you either got to attack the middle of the field or you just got to go off your back foot and throw a ball up in there, and hopefully your receiver runs under it. So, like, Flores it's also just mind games with the quarterback because you're just seeing the same thing over and over again, and they're doing different things. Like, it is just so tough for these quarterbacks to decipher what Flores is trying to do. But, yeah, if KOC does good the last few weeks, you keep him, obviously, and you try your hardest to keep Brian Flores on this staff. Yellow 5791 is going on saying, do you think Justin Jefferson is still chilling on the Vikings, or do you think he's going to get traded still? I don't think there's a chance Jefferson gets traded. I think that's probably the biggest waste of energy that Vikings fans kind of spend their time on, is saying like, oh, could they trade Jefferson? Could you get a couple first-round picks? Number one, Vikings will never do it. That's the face of your franchise. And number two, it's fucking stupid. Like, you're not going to trade Justin Jefferson. Like, he is one of the best players in the National Football League. You don't trade one of those guys when you're trying to win games. Now, you can make the argument, well, the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill, and then they won back-to-back Super Bowls. We don't have Patrick Mahomes. We don't have Andy Reid. We are taking the Kyle Shanahan Niners-esque or the Nick Sirianni Eagles-esque route where you're getting a stacked roster with a quarterback who hopefully JJ develops to be a top 12 guy eventually, and then you go on that playoff run. Now, when you have like a Josh Allen or, a Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, like, yeah, you can get away with, trading a superstar wide receiver. But I just think it would be stupid. I don't think like those draft picks you would get. Like, those draft picks also you would get if you still got the same GM. Kwesi is like, is he going to hit on those draft picks? Because if you trade Jefferson, you're just going to be drafting another wide receiver, hopefully that he becomes that guy. And the Vikings just aren't in that spot right now. So I think it's pretty stupid. Wes saying, I believe Hitman will be an HOFer. What do you think? I think he'll be in the Hall of Fame 100%. I mean, did he drop his 39th career interception against the Cowboys? I'm trying to think. I think he's closing in here on 40. Yeah, he's at 38. So he dropped his 39th against the Cowboys there. But I don't know. I mean, I still think Harrison Smith, like if you think about like late 2010s, honestly, I mean, most of the 2010s, like Harry was one of the better players in the NFL. So yeah, I think he'll be a Hall of Famer. But again, the NFL Hall of Fame is different than the NBA Hall of Fame. It's a lot harder to get into, but I think he deserves it. I think he'll get that jacket 5 years after he retires. I don't know if it'll be first ballot, actually. Probably, I don't know, second ballot, third ballot, but I think he'll eventually get there. But we do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in to today's show. If you guys made it to the end, hit me with those skulls down below, and we'll get on out of here. Let's go Vikes.